Londa Larmond was born and raised in Toronto, Canada, to loving Jamaican parents. Alongside her musician father and brothers, Londa was singing in church since the age of 7. Londa continued her musical career as part of the Gospel Soul Sisters before joining the internationally acclaimed Sharon Riley and Faith Chorale. Her solo debut album, Love Letters, established Londa as one of Canada's gospel music trailblazers with international acclaim. Love Letters introduced a new genre of soulful jazz and urban pop grooves that marked the beginning of a legacy. Her powerful voice led her to appear in the blockbuster film The Blues Brothers 2000. Londa performed in the film and recorded the Grammy-nominated Certified Gold soundtrack alongside musical icons Aretha Franklin, Erykah Badu, and Sam Moore. Londa also performed in the Tony Award-winning musical Caroline or Change, where she was nominated for Best Female Performance in a Musical. Today, Londa tours with a cast from the powerful theatrical play Melody of Deception under the direction of Dr. Elaine Brown Spencer. But there is a lot more to come from Londa Larmond.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Woodrow Thompson. Yes, she's here in studio with us. Londa Larmond is with us, and it's good to have her with us.
Thank you.
Welcome to Let's Talk.
Thank you.
You are a Canadian gospel musician, and you're a Christian recording artist. You're also a mother.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I've known you for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of your accomplishment.
Thank you.
And now I'm sure that there's a lot of people who have seen you over the years performing and owning your craft, doing what you do. But not a lot of people know about your history and your start. Tell us about how you got started.
Well, being in the Church of God of Prophecy,
Right.
growing up in church, my father is a deacon, Deacon
Right,
Larmond,
yes.
and Sister Larmond.
Yes.
Born and raised in the church.
Right.
And I've always loved singing. I started at the age of 7. I remember
Wow.
in Sunday school, I was given my first solo. And from there, I believe there was a service where one of the church members was putting on a special Sunday service.
Right.
And I think I was about 16 or 17. And she said, Londa, you know, I want you to sing a solo. And I was so nervous, but she said, no, you can do it.
Right.
I remember her. She's
Right.
still a friend to this day,
Wow.
Rose Armstrong.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I know her.
Murchison's
Yes,
wife,
yeah.
yes. And she had me sing If That Isn't Love, The
Wow.
Ocean is Dry.
Wow.
That was the first time. And from there, it's history where I started to do solos and I formed the Gospel Soul Sisters.
Right, right.
I was in the Youth Outreach Mass Choir. And then from there, Sharon Riley and Faith Chorale.
Right.
And
I
it was
remember
there that I
yes.
did my solo debut.
Your music career, how did this begin, the official launch of your musical career?
Okay, so that would have been with Sharon Riley and Faith Chorale.
Oh, okay.
Yes, while I was in the choir, they had been signed to EMI, and we did it was Caught Up. We did the Caught Up album.
Right, right.
While we did Caught Up, the record label introduced themselves to me
Right.
and asked me if I had thought about, actually, we did Caught Up and then we did, oh boy, the Life Is album.
Okay.
And it was while I was on the second album, that's when they introduced themselves to me with the idea of
Right.
going solo.
Right.
And I was like, sure. And Richard Picard, he became my manager at the time.
Oh, good.
And that's when Love Letters happened.
Wow.
After that,
Very
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Now, being a gospel singer, I don't know much about this, but I've heard that you can face some great challenges because in the secular world, if you're singing, secular music, seems to be able to move ahead quite faster than in the gospel musical industry.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you face where that's concerned?
When you're an independent artist, even in the secular arena, it can be challenging.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
as an independent artist, if you're not signed to a major label,
Right, right.
because it costs money to record a
gotcha.
CD.
Right.
And so as an independent artist, you have to do it on your own. So if you don't have the resources to make that happen, then it slows things down, it delays things. And so when I was with EMI, that was great because they paid for everything.
Oh, good.
And that was wonderful. I have no issues with EMI, no hatred, nothing. They did a great job with me. Did a great job in introducing me to the industry and for the industry to recognize me, which is why they still recognize me both here and abroad.
When we come back, Londa is going to tell us the highlight of her career so far. You don't want to miss this.
I read Songs of Solomon.
Of course.
And he was a great R&B writer.
Yes, right.
You know what I'm saying?
And a great lover.
A great lover. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to marriage, personally, I wonder what people listen to.
I know.
Because I ain't listening to Hezekiah Walker. I got to tell you. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not.
TV programs, convocations, conventions, graduations, YouTube commercials. Pinewood Films is a locally owned production company based in Toronto, and we're here to help you capture your event on video. It could be a Saturday or Sunday morning church service, a banquet, a business function, birthday party, even that special wedding day. Absolutely no project is too small or too large. We record and edit all of our footage professionally with high-quality HD and 4K cameras that can be used for TV broadcasting or just home viewing. The choice is all up to you. So, what are you waiting for? Call us right now at 647-933-8068, and there's no obligation. Let's talk about your ideas for your next event or project. The number is on the screen. We're waiting for your call.
Welcome back to Let's Talk. And my special guest is Londa Larmond. Good to have you again with us.
Thank
you. We mentioned earlier the difficulties of being a gospel artist and some of the challenges you face. If EMI or some other company was to approach you and wanted you to do something in the secular realm, what would be your response?
Okay, so first thing is that when it comes to secular music and Christians, me in particular, I believe in being, because of my foundation and my maturity in Christ. And I think that somebody has to be mature in Christ when it comes to this kind of thing. I personally would have no issue, not necessarily, I don't think I would do a full out secular album, but doing a few love songs here and there, I'd have no issue with that. Because personally, for me, God is love. And I think the issue is picking and choosing the content. So I'm not into the new school R&B by any means. But I guarantee you, I will have no problem going to a Stevie Wonder concert. No issue there. Nothing that he sings, you know, contradicts anything that I stand for, that I've listened to anyway, and that I enjoy. So when you ask me that, if they were to come to me with a full secular album, probably not. Would I do a few love songs here and there that speak to marriage or whatever? I wouldn't have an issue with that. I definitely have to see the lyrics and make sure that it's cool, but I have no issue with that because I think that as Christians we forget that you know, I read Songs of Solomon, and he was a great R&B writer.
And a great lover.
A great lover, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to marriage, personally, I wonder what people listen to.
I know.
Because I ain't listening to Hezekiah Walker. I gotta tell you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not. I'm really not. So I think that, you know, I would love to see what should actually happen if anybody is going to be making love music. To me, it should be the believer who has love music that speaks to us, that we can enjoy because God is love. Instead, we have to be listening to all the other bump and grind foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Which doesn't represent us at all. So, and that's a shame.
It is.
It's a shame.
It is.
Thank God, you know, Bishop Jakes had tried, and I love that CD that he came out with, but there's been nothing really since then.
Right.
So that would be my answer.
Well, I agree with you, because if I'm celebrating my anniversary with my wife and we go away, I'm not taking Amazing Grace with me. I'm sorry. I want something.
Yeah,
I want something that's appropriate to that.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And my take has always been, it's not so much the music as the content. And we're not just Christians; we're human beings.
Exactly.
We're not only spiritual beings.
Exactly.
We're physical beings.
That's
so
right.
I agree with you there. Tell me about your children.
What about them?
How old are they? How old are you?
Marquise and Miguel, they're great. They're 8 and 5. Marquise is 8, Miguel is 5. Both singing.
They're singing.
Oh yeah. They love to sing. Especially the little one.
They hung around you too long.
Yeah, listen.
Oh, wow.
Hey, that
very
was a
good.
fall
That
from
is
the
very
tree.
good.
Yes.
So, what's the challenge? How do you find the challenge balancing family, because you have a young family,
Lord.
family and
It's hard.
yeah.
It's hard, especially because it's just me
Right.
with these boys. That's a hard transition.
Right.
But it is what it is.
Right.
And thank God that I'm saved.
Good.
Thank God that I have Jesus.
Good.
Honestly, I don't know how people do it without Jesus. I mentioned that at one of my concerts one time. I said, I don't know how you do it, because without God, I think I would have lost my mind.
Wow.
Really, I do. I think I would have lost my mind. Raising children as a single mother is not easy.
Yes.
And then also doing ministry.
Right.
And then also having a job. And then also being the worship leader at church, which is a well-known church, Rhema Christian Ministries.
Right.
Big up.
Right.
I
love that. Good.
You know, it's not easy, and a lot of time, and then doing, you know, my other things like acting and all of that.
Right.
It's a lot, very busy, but somebody's got to do it. God chose me, and I thank Him for it.
Very
We
good.
make it happen.
Very good. Well, we're going to continue this conversation after return from this break.
Yes, so I've been to South Korea.
You've been to South Korea?
Yes, I have.
Excellent.
Yes, and I had to sing there with one of their major
So you spoke
celeb
Korean,
opera singers. You know what? I had to do their national anthem.
You
Stop
did?
it. Oh yes, I did. In their language. Yes, I did. And that was amazing. 50,000 people.
Wow.
TV programs, convocations, conventions, graduations, YouTube commercials. Pinewood Films is a locally owned production company based in Toronto, and we're here to help you capture your event on video. It could be a Saturday or Sunday morning church service, a banquet, a business function, birthday party, even that special wedding day. Absolutely no project is too small or too large. We record and edit all of our footage professionally with high-quality HD and 4K cameras that can be used for TV broadcasting or just home viewing. The choice is all up to you. So, what are you waiting for? Call us right now at 647-933-8068, and there's no obligation. Let's talk about your ideas for your next event or project. The number is on the screen. We're waiting for your call.
Welcome back to Let's Talk. My special guest is Londa Larmond, musical gospel artist. And if you've just joined us, we've been talking about her career and how God has been using her. We all have influencers. Who has been your influencers in the industry?
Well, going way back, I'd have to say from Andre Crouch to the Hawkins.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're going way back.
Way back. And then I definitely have to say to the Pace Sisters.
Wow.
Because they're the reason why I got my group together, Gospel Soul Sisters. We did a lot of their songs.
Very
so
good.
I'd love that. Then the Winans for sure, like all the Winans, the group, BB and CC.
We
Come
grew
on,
up on them.
all of them, right?
Yeah.
And then, but right now, I mean, I love me some Kim Burrell. That's my girl.
Yes.
Love her.
Good.
Karen Clark, of course.
Yes.
Clark Sisters. How can we forget them?
Right.
You know, all of them. Love all of them.
Right. So how do you compare the influencers back then to the influencers today in the industry?
Right.
Is there any comparison?
You know what I love about what's happening now
Right.
is that back then there was a real, although I think there still is a distinction
Right.
between black gospel and Christian contemporary
Right.
music.
Of course.
There still is a
Yes.
distinction.
Yes. Right.
But I like that black gospel now has over the more recent years, they're starting to embrace the style
Right.
of contemporary Christian music.
Okay.
So there's more worship.
Right. Right.
Back in the day, even when I first got signed to EMI,
Right.
when I would go out and minister, most of the time, obviously, it was in black churches or
Right,
whatever.
of course.
And even back then, which would be back in 2000, early 2000s,
Right.
it wasn't, they still weren't really into the worship. So we got
Right.
it was a lot of that.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
In a black church.
Exactly. So a lot of times I'd have to say, okay, come on, let's
Right,
worship.
right.
And you'd have to teach them and,
Right,
you know, bring.
right.
And now I thank God that we're at a place now where, you know, everybody knows who Bethel
Right.
music is. You know what I'm saying?
Of
We
course.
all know Hillsongs,
Of
although
course,
they've been
yes.
around
Oh,
forever. You
yes,
know what I'm
of
saying?
course, yes.
And we're embracing Michael W. Smith and all those people.
Right.
And so I'm glad about that. So now praise and worship, some would say that it's a new genre,
Yes.
right? Which it really isn't. That's what
It's
we were
not.
created to do. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
of course,
It's not really a
yeah.
genre. But now black gospel, the black churches are embracing it more.
Right.
And so it's not only hymns anymore. We've kind of, you know, even though we're not totally letting go of it, and I don't think that we should, but we understand that worship, it's vertical.
Right.
As
right.
opposed to the horizontal.
Right, right.
We're letting go of the I'll
Right.
fly away stuff.
Right.
Really, that has nothing to do with worship.
Well, we're going to fly away. I'm
We-
just kidding.
you-
I
well,
know what you
we're
mean.
gonna go. Yes.
But I agree with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Because one of my pet peeves about worship is, and I love the hymns. I have no problem with the hymns,
Absolutely.
but I love the contemporary gospel,
Yes,
the
yes,
contemporary
yes.
music. And one of my pet peeves has always been, I think worship is a lifestyle.
Yes.
But when we come together for corporate worship, there
Yes.
should be something that pulls me in.
Absolutely.
It's more than,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It should be
yeah,
something
yeah.
that pulls
That's
me
really
in.
that's outer court.
Right,
And we
right.
need to, there
Right,
has to be a destination.
I
So we
agree.
need to get beyond the veil.
Right.
And how do we get there? It can't just be,
Of course,
Right.
I agree. Well, especially in Pentecostalism, you know,
Right.
that's one of the that's
Exactly.
one of the weaknesses.
right.
How has God transformed you artistically?
Right. So I love that because, so for my first album, it was urban contemporary.
Right.
I was young. I was
Yeah,
like
of course,
25.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've come a long way, 41. What? And I thank God for that because actually, when I first came out with that album, I really did want to do praise and worship because that's just who I am.
Right,
It's who I am.
Right.
I am a worship leader by nature. I believe I'm called to that. And so I wanted to do that. The record label wanted me to do the urban contemporary
Right,
stuff
right.
because of my age. They felt
Right,
that I
sure,
had that market
sure,
and I could do
sure,
it. So
sure.
I said fine. And again, no hating on them for that. They did a
Right,
great job.
right.
But that's how, when you ask me how have I transformed, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Good.
Which is the praise and worship. So Great Things, that's what that album is. It's a praise and worship album. And I desire to continue doing that. Will I ever go back to urban contemporary? Sure, there may be some
Right.
tracks there for it because I have children now
Of
who I want to
course.
make sure that I remain relevant to.
And they're singers too.
And they're singers too. So I need to know what they're listening to and stay relevant. But I'm a born worshiper.
Right.
So
Very good.
that's how I've transformed
That's good.
for sure.
I realized that you also have an acting career.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excited.
How did that
Big
happen?
up, Doc.
How did that happen?
Oh boy. So Dr. Elaine, that's what I was saying hey
Yes,
to.
Dr. Spencer.
Dr.
yeah.
Elaine Spencer, she is, God has blessed her and gifted her
Right.
with writing. And she wrote a book called Private Pain and Public
Right.
Pews, which is blessing
Right.
everybody. And so she did a play. And she came to me one day and said, you know, would you ever consider doing this? And I said, yes, because...
Just like that?
Absolutely.
Have you ever thought about acting
Well,
before?
listen, so I did Caroline or Change, which is not a gospel play.
Right.
That happened while I was on maternity leave with Miguel, the baby.
Right.
And because of that, getting that opportunity,
Right.
I fell in love with acting.
Wow.
Loved it. And so when she said it, it was a no-brainer.
Wow.
And I just got involved and I've been with her ever since. I think that was 2014
Right.
that I
right,
started with
right,
her.
right.
Yeah.
So could you see yourself doing both?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Good,
Hey,
good,
Jesus.
good.
I
Well,
love it.
That's great.
I love it.
Now, as you travel, what has been the largest audience that you've had to perform, minister to?
Yes. So I've been to South Korea.
You've been to South Korea?
Yes, I have.
Excellent.
Yes, and I had to sing there with one of their major
So you spoke
celeb
Korean,
opera singers. You know what? I had to do their national anthem.
You
Stop
did?
it. Oh yes, I did. In their language. Yes, I did. And that was amazing. 50,000 people.
Wow.
In their World Stadium or soccer stadium.
That's
I can't
amazing.
remember.
Wow.
That was amazing.
Wow.
That was the biggest audience.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And you're also a vocal coach.
I am. It's Excelsior Vocal Coaching. I'm excited about that. I find that we have, especially in Toronto,
Right.
a lot of people that want to be singers and just don't know how
Right.
to do it properly. A lot of people that minister and don't know how to conserve their voice.
Right.
Or a lot of praise teams that need a little help. So they call me.
Very good.
And I'm excited about that. It's been going well.
Okay.
Going very well.
Very
A
good.
lot of people have reached out, and I'm still out there. So if you need somebody,
Very
here I
good. Very good. Well, more with Londa Larmond when we return. Thank you.
Church at the Well, reaching our city one person at a time.
The weather outside is frightful, but the fire's Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody. This is Harold, and I have a big announcement to make. My friends at Church at the Well will be hosting their annual Christmas puppet show sing-along, and it is going to be great. Featuring Joy Kids and some of the best puppets you'll ever see, except for me, of course. They will be singing, dancing, and performing amazing tricks just for you. Admission is $15 per family of 4. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth pays another $15, so no sneaking in an extra child. For tickets, call 1-877-700-3130. The venue is Church at the Well, 9954 Keel Street in Maple, just around the corner from Canada's Wonderland, which, by the way, is now closed for the winter, so this puppet show is all you've got. For more information, call the church at 647-330-8567. So Merry Christmas, and I hope to see you at Christmas Puppet Show December 18th at 6 p.m.
Welcome back to Let's Talk. My guest is Londa Larmond, and if you've missed us for the last 20 minutes, you've missed a great show. I'm glad that you tune in as we're on the last leg of our show. Well, it's so good to talk to you. One of the things I'd like to ask you is, what has been the highlight of your career?
That's a good question because there's many.
Well, tell us about
I
that.
don't have only one. So first things first, you know what? Getting signed was huge for me.
Very good.
Especially because in Canada, you don't see many people getting signed to a major gospel American label. So that was huge for me. Even though this is not necessarily a part of my musical career, the birth of my children was huge.
Of course, of course.
That was huge. That was massive for me because the struggle in giving birth to them,
of course,
is a testimony.
Right.
Outside of that, what else was a highlight? I mean, of course, like you mentioned, singing for George Bush, all of that. My live recording for Great Things, huge.
Yes. Yeah.
And the concerts that I've done on my own, I've done a lot in my short lifespan.
Very good.
And I give God thanks for that. There's a lot that I've done, and I thank God for that. All the groups that I've been in, and the vocal productions that I've done on CDs for other people's CDs, them seeing the gift in me and trusting me with their project in order to do it, that's been awesome.
So you've had many highlights.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
You've lived
and
a
then
good
the
life.
acting, I mean, can't leave that out.
Yeah,
amazing.
Very good.
God's been good.
Very good. What do you hope to convey in your music or through your music? What do you hope to convey to your audience?
Because I am a worshiper,
Right.
I want people to sense that when they listen to my music.
Right.
I want them to feel comfortable going in,
Right.
if I could say that.
Right.
Going in with me. I want them, when they listen to it, to sense God's presence.
Right.
I want them to feel the anointing. I want that when they're listening to it, that whatever they're going through at that moment,
Right.
that need is met while they listen to my music.
Right.
Which I have received testimonies that has happened,
Right.
especially with Great Things. People went through different situations in their life, and it was the Great Things album that actually brought them through.
Right.
People, even with love letters, I had testimonies of people that wanted to commit suicide, and it was love letters that brought them through and stopped them from doing that.
Very good.
You know, so that's what I want. I
Right.
want them to be encouraged. I want them to be healed. I want them to be restored. I want them to get whatever it is that God needs for them to get when
Very
they
good.
listen to my music.
Very good. You know, I love two things I love very much. Good preaching and good singing. And I believe that the gospel comes through those mediums.
Absolutely.
And I believe that as you sing, as you share God's love through music, it's able to touch lives and transform lives.
Absolutely.
And so the gospel comes through that medium.
Yes.
So I know that some people, when they're singing, and for lack of a better term, if you're not careful, some people just view it as entertainment.
Yeah.
They're just there to entertain.
Yeah.
But you seem to want to do something different with your music.
Absolutely. I want what you said. I want lives to be touched. I want them to be changed.
Right.
When they enter whatever arena it is that I'm in,
Right.
and as soon as I open my mouth, there has to be something that happens
Right.
in the atmosphere while they're
Right,
there.
right.
And I need them to be able to say by the time they leave that something happened, I'm not the same,
Right.
and this is what happened
Right.
when you ministered.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this has been powerful because, as we know, God can take that medium and He can touch lives. And I'm hoping that those who are viewing this program tonight today will get that sense
Right.
that just listening to the music has a way of transforming their lives, and God's love can reach their lives
Absolutely.
through that medium.
Absolutely.
Yolanda, it was a pleasure having you.
Great
It was
to
good
be
to
here.
hear what God is doing in your life, and I was
Thank
using you.
you.
How can people get a hold of your music, your album, and just keep in touch with
Absolutely.
you?
iTunes.
iTunes, okay.
Definitely. It's
Very good.
available on every digital network, website, any distribution. It's available for you. And if you need to reach me, you can reach me through Facebook, facebook.com/Londa Larmond Music, through Instagram, Twitter. I'm all there. Find me, I'm there. Londa Larmond, easy, LondaLarmond.
Very
I'm
good.
there.
Very good. Now, for someone who has known you for such a long time, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I am so proud to see how God is using you
Thank
and using you to shape the next generation,
Amen.
especially your kids,
Thank
as they say.
Amen. Yes.
Thanks again for being with
Thank
us.
you.
Well, that's all the time we have, and let's talk. Thank you for joining us. Let's keep talking. See you soon.